Okay, I think we should start now. Right, so I want to greet everyone once again. You're all welcome to class. Hope your day has been good, and hope you are been able to meet up with your day's to-do list and targets. All right, so I think one of those things you should have on your list today is to attend class, and that's what we're about to do now. All right, so you are all welcome to class, and in case we have some persons just joining us, all right, so equally I say you are welcome. A good way to catch up with us is to go through recorded materials and possibly avail yourself of some other materials beyond the class, what we do in class, and even things that exist on the internet. More specifically from UiPath websites. This will go a long way in helping you to even accelerate your speed and your pace. And as I can see, a lot of I will call it's a lot of some persons, you know, like putting in some questions on the platforms, and putting some kind of poser to challenge us and to challenge others, not necessarily to intimidate. I want to believe that's not the mind, but to actually to prime our minds, all right, to engage us and to challenge us. So I want to believe a lot of work is going on at the background. Okay. All right. So before I start fully, I would like to know if I'm audible and if I'm very, very audible. You can unmute yourself and feed me back.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Great. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So yes, we're supposed to look at something today. Do we have anything pending? With respect to yesterday's class, do we have anything pending? Did we assign any work? Because yesterday's class was unique in its own way. Yeah. So do we have anything pending that we should talk about? Yeah, or something, and the work assigned to someone or to some persons? I suppose there is none. Okay. Since I cannot get any feedback from anyone. Okay, someone wants to talk. Okay. I suppose the person has changed his or her mind. Okay. All right, so we're supposed to look at another aspect in control flow, which borders on loop. I'll call it loops. That is, we have three types of loops in UiPath Studio. Okay, we have the do while, the while, and for each loops. The work of loops is to help you to repeat an instruction, okay, until a particular condition is achieved, is met. When the condition is met, Okay, so it's like when you play a video over and over, and you put it on repeat. Depending on the player you are using, you can put it on repeat, and then it keeps playing, and it keeps playing until there is another instruction that will say stop. Okay, so it's the same. It could be the same video or music file or whatever you are playing. It will keep repeating the same thing. So that is maybe that could be an idea. Could give us an idea of what loop handles, and then it will also help in perhaps in demystifying the way the types of loop we'll be talking about, how it works. Now each of them has its own place in the body of automation. For instance, the do while. We'll start with the do while. The do while activity. It has its own place. Of course, the conditions you put in place must be assessed before. It must be assessed after execution of instruction. We're going to do some hands-on, and that will help in driving home the point. Let me share my screen with you so that we can even be on the same page and can say, yeah, definitely. I'm sure you have your manuals with you. Yeah, that reminds me. Someone was asking me for materials. I simply told the person to go on the website to fetch it down. Okay. Oh no, I told the person to check on the Telegram page to fetch it down. But I think he's saying he could not find it. I remember someone posted it based on requests, and it was based on that I asked the person to check it out. So if you are also still like in search for materials that we've been using, we have a manual detailed to a large extent in PDF, though if it is not your own way of relating with content, you bear with us. Okay, it's on the website, that very website where you registered, and if you go through the lessons L1, L2, and all those, you see each of those PDFs in those lessons. All right, so that's a way, and then if it's on Telegram, you can get, if you can maneuver your way to where you have files, links, and the rest. So you will get all the files, PDF files from that, from the files category. Okay, and you have everything there. All right. Yeah. So. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. I believe it's coming up.
Yeah, it's up now. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right. So, yes, introduction to loops. And I already mentioned this The do while, the while, the for each loops. This is a picture of creating a sequence that can be looped. That is to be something that can be repeated. All right. Now the do while, what it does, and the way it works is that when you have set an instruction, you have put an instruction in place. Okay, and of course there should be a condition for that should inform how you want your automation to work. Okay, the do while, what it does is that after the instruction must have been executed, then it evaluates the condition. This is unlike the way while activity works. The while activities, it ensures that it evaluates the condition before the execution of instruction. All right, so in case of while, it evaluates condition before the execution of instruction. In case of do while, it evaluates condition after the execution of instruction. Let's put it that way. So do while is like let me call it like a post execution kind of loop, and then maybe we call while pre like a pre-execution kind of loop. Yeah, that's my coinage. Okay, so it's not in any material and it's not something you can relate to, just for the class. Okay, all right. So you know that one is for after, the one is for before. All right. So it executes a specific instruction while a condition is met. So in a short while, we would need to just look at how this operates, and for the purpose of those that perhaps they've not tried this. Of course, I encourage you to do that, to try some of these activities. They are there in your book, your manual. To try them, you are free to try them. I know some persons, I can see they have gone far. I saw from, I can't recall maybe Alifo Johnson, or maybe him, or I can't really, I don't know the name, but that's not the issue. But some of you should be familiar with this now. If you're on Telegram, someone was asking, what is like, was trying to find out what's a particular condition, what it meant. Okay, and then like when you want to ensure that something is a number is even, like, so okay, so I see that, okay, some persons ahead. That's very good, commendable, and I celebrate that. I relate with you seriously, and of course I saw that, and then well, how much do I know? Like a friend also replied that he doesn't know anything. He googled it, he could not find anything there. But maybe one of the activities we do today will help us. I mean, one of the demonstrations we do today will help us in that aspect, to see what that expression condition is talking about. Okay, it's not something difficult. It's not something that is outside this world. It's not beyond Google. Let me put it that way. All right. Okay. It's just some manipulations here and there. Okay. Yeah, so we class exercise before us is to demonstrate how to use do while loop by building a workflow which asks for an even number. The program continues to continues asking for input till an even number is entered. Okay, and all that you can see on the screen. Okay, so this program, you keep inputting a number per time, and then It tells you if it's an odd or even number. I'm sure you should be able to do this without any serious work or supervision, kind of. But you would do this the practice exercise. Maybe we'll just run through this. Once you're able to do this, you'll be able to do a practice exercise, I believe. So I'm sorry. If what you are seeing presently on your screen, let me know. I want to know if you're on the same page with me. Can you see anything on my screen? I mean, or maybe on your screen. Okay, what is it? What are you seeing? You can't see anything. Oh.
Your screen is not up.
Your screen is not up yet.
Okay.
It's up now. We can see it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Kindly mute yourself. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Call it do while. I name it this way. You can actually your naming convention or your description can be different from this. Since my focus on the hands-on itself, yeah. So that's why I'm using this do I kind of naming convention. So I call it do I, and of course, the name of the assignment is to. Let's use it for the description, is to build a workflow. Yeah, a workflow which asks for an even number. Okay. Or an even. I've not been doing my description, and I'm doing this on purpose. All right. So that you can be used to that, and you will not say that, of course, Mr. Ebenezer does not do it, so it doesn't matter. There sometimes there is a lot of gap between theory and practical, between what you preach and what you do. Many times we speak what is ideal, but in practice we don't do it, and that's our present state in Nigeria. Permit me, that's not why we are here, and it's not for discussion at all. We are good at teaching or talking using big grammars, but not doing. Okay, so I think I was falling into that category by not giving description to my project and not naming even my workflow, conventional, the way it should be done. All right. What we should do here is, based on what we have, is we'll definitely need an input dialog where we are going to insert where we insert our values. Okay, so I would start with that input dialog, and I give this even number checker. Is there anything like ASCII? And the dialog box still rename. Let's call it number input. And then this can still give it the same name, number or input number, whichever input number. That's the title, input number. Yeah. And a notation that I should give to this, I can use either to, or I right click and go to add annotations. So my description, I'm just going to put it here. A flow to build. Yeah, call it a project to build workflow which asks for even number. Okay. All right. So we by this, all activities that will be brought in here should be named. All right. So I will stop all the naming thing. Okay. So while we have this here, then the input label is where we give the instruction. Please insert an even number. Please insert or.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
I can't see your screen.
Really? And can others help me confirm this?
Yeah, we can see it.
We can see it clearly, sir.
You can see it. You can see it very well.
Okay, let me have. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me have an idea of the visibility issue you are having. Is it that it's blurred or it's not clear?
I'm just seeing participants. I can't see the screen.
Oh, it should be okay, it should be an internet thing. I think, I suppose.
Maybe you should log out and log in again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Let me log out.
Yeah. All right, so please impute an even number. All right, and then it goes through. I think over time we have been creating variables here, but so that we don't forget that there are other options. Yeah, so we can at the same time we can equally do that, here where we have results. You can right click, you can come to the ellipse icon and impute your variables. All right, so here, what do I put? Just put an input number. Yep. Control, and you use Control K to do that. Input number. All right, so it's a basic program, but Now we've done this a number of times. We have even at the point of taking decision, like at if using the if activity, we have used this. What is the dimension of do while? It's that it's going to create a loop. Yesterday, or sorry, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, where we used if activity. Once the condition is met, what you notice is that the program hence is truncated. All right. Well, in the case of loop, it gives occasion is sequence to be repeated, for instruction to be repeated over and over and over and over. All right, that's why we call it loop. So I haven't done this. Yeah, then I can. Next thing to do is of course, this data I can push it inside. A do while activity. But for now, let me bring in if statement. Okay, so and I can set my condition as what now? If what the user is imputing. Okay, if it's all right, so just don't mind this now. I think we set it with input. Okay, input number. Now, if what will be imputed by the user. Okay, if it's now, just look at this. If it's something that when you divide by 2, you get 0, and I will take it again. Not everyone likes mathematics. Okay, but it's not an issue. In every of our life's activities, we do mathematics. We may not know. As long as you know how to add salt to your rice, my friend, you're a mathematician. Don't let anybody discourage you. You may not be able to do it well in the regular, exams and all of that, but in life exam itself, you are passing already because you are adding adequate proportion of salt to the size of rice that you want to cook. You can measure, so don't tell me you don't know mathematics, but you are baking very well. No, I will not take that from you. Don't tell me you don't like mathematics or you don't know mathematics, but you can drive with sense and you can make calculations. You can, detect. You can say that this object is closer to me than what I'm saying. Sorry, you are into mathematics. Mathematics is about life. You are calculating. So this is just a scam for you to tell me that you don't know mathematics. You do, please, bro or sis. All right. So now what we want to do now, it may look like also what exactly it is and how did we get here? Now there is what we call even number. Even number, definitely from the word even, we use it in English language. When something is even, it's equal. All right. Okay. There is no remnant. There is no fragment. So when you divide a number with 2, all right, and you don't have fragments, like you don't have 1, you don't have anything left over, then that's an even number. When you divide a number by 2 and what you have is nothing, which is 0, then that's an even number. Do you get that? So that's just the sense. It's like the opposite is the case. Well, when we are talking about prime numbers and the rest, prime number, it's you divide it by 2, you have a remnant which we call remainder, or which is like 1. It's okay. All right. So here we are saying that if we divide this thing with 2 and what we have is 0, then we should take it as an even number. So just look at it. The input, which we call input number, we are saying that if this is this, use a function, modulus, okay, 2, okay, and it's equal to It's okay. Equals. Where are you? All right. And it's equal to 0. Don't forget all my narratives, all my analogy. If it's equal to 0, then it's an even number. Do you get that? All right.
It should be double equal.
Hello,
No, not double.
hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Can you come
See,
again?
Yeah.
hello. Wait. We are not. We are inputting it inside the variable. This thing.
Oh,
Is it
sorry. All right. Thank you so much. I was wondering why it was flagging it as actually that what's going on. Thank you. All right. So my condition here, I meant to be at the condition field. Yeah. So my condition is if this input that will be made by a user is divided. So this is a function mode or modulus 2 that is divided by 2. If this input number is divided by 2, and what we get, it's okay. What we get is 0. Okay, that's our condition. It's equals to 0.
It should be double equals. Double equals.
No, it shouldn't. There's no.
You've not seen the.
It's not. It's supposed to be single. It doesn't.
Okay. He's talking about JavaScript.
Inputs number.
Input what? Yeah. Okay, I've not changed. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, that's true. All right. The variable type, because it has not been, taken to int32 as a numerical value or data. Yeah, as a numerical data. So that's why it's still being flagged. All right. So these are potential questions. Okay. So we have this, that input number divided by 2 equals 0. All right. So when this condition is met, then we can pass a message. We can pass a message. Then let's say true, you are correct. You can say correct. Sorry. Correct. All right. So then if else, message box, else, if it's not, sorry, if you are wrong, you are wrong, make input and even number. All right, so just that way. Okay. All right, so we are familiar with this. This is not an issue at all. Yeah. This should not, this should not be an issue for us. We have done this in previous classes. All right, so if you run this, you get, the result we should get. Okay. Now, what the dimension to this one is, we want it to keep looping until when what's it called now? This condition is met. Let me run this the way it is, and you see it. Can you see my screen, please? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
Yes, sir. We can see it. We can see it, sir.
What did you see? I want to find.
Please input and even.
Okay. But it's okay. Can mute it, please? Please, All right. Thank you for putting that. All right. So, make an even input. All right. This error is caused by all of us. You didn't correct me. All right. So, yeah, and then the even input I want to impute is 45. Right now, 45. So, what do we have? Sorry, you are wrong. Impute an even number. This should end. All right. I will run it again and I will impute an even number now. I put 44. Okay, it's correct. It will end. Okay, so this is do while and this is how it works. You can bring your do while now. Your do while activity. Can bring it here, but we'll not leave it there. So this do while, it's like a place where we are going to bring in whatever we want to, loop. So I can bring the whole of this now. Put it at 60. Okay. All right. So I can bring the whole of this, everything I have here, take it into the do while. Okay, that's what I want to do now. And I can do that one after the other or copy everything. Okay. I'm taking it into the body container. Did you notice that? Did you notice what I did? I don't want us to be confused about the steps at all. All right, for those of us that have not tried it. And I will revert, I will go back to my initial step. I will undo this. All right. Now, while I brought in the do while activity, you will notice that Control plus. Okay, here. You notice that there is a condition here. The body executes as long as this condition is true. All right. Okay, that condition is there. So we may fix it here or fix it later, whichever way. But for you to understand certain things, so I'm going to take it zoom out now. All right, so I'm taking this into the body. Is everything going? No. No. Okay. So I've highlighted everything that I want to loop. I'm taking it into the body. Okay, so that's how I got here. And the condition that I showed you, that's for do while, it's what you have at the base now. This. And what condition are we setting? The condition we are setting is that, don't forget, we have to check for even number. I want to check if this is an even number. If it is not, then repeat it. Just keep repeating. All right, until that condition is met. So we're going to say input number that by the user. Okay, if this one if we divide that number, with 2 and it's now less than or greater, of course, if it is less than 0, That means you are going towards minus. And if it is greater than 0, it means you are saying anything from 1. So if this condition is met, all right, it's greater than 0. I want to see where this operates should be generalized. Yeah. Okay. The input is divided by, sorry, if it's divided, yeah, by 2. All right. Less than, greater than 0. Okay. Okay, so then this should determine if it's going to loop or not. All right, so just save, run. This, you have an idea of what the dual has done. Please impute an even even it's okay, whatever. 34. Okay, let me choose a wrong 35. Sorry, you are wrong. Impute an even number. Now you notice that the execution did not end. All right, unlike while we used only if activity, okay, it's immediately I'm done with this, the execution simply stopped. All right, but here, while that condition has not been met, it's still looping. It's still doing this. Okay, so you can try anything. It keeps looping until you put the right thing. All right, that's correct. All right, so it goes on like that. So that's what that's what it does. Now I have it in mind that I will do something. Let me see what I can do. I want to create a variable. And I'll call it, what's it called now? I'll call it a name. What's the name that one of us put on the platform? I don't know, I can't recall the name except I checked my page. We call it something Instra Costa. Is that the name? Someone can check for me.
Mr. Costa on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp. Is there, no, I mean Telegram.
It was on WhatsApp too.
Oh, okay. Intra Costa. Okay. Let me set this as the integer. And I'm going to hit a default number and say, I'm giving it 2. Okay. Do you notice that the default has been set to 2? Okay, just note that. Okay, so let me come back to my program. Where do I have conditions? Here. I want to change it. Now, instead of having 2 here, I can put Instra Costa here. Which other place now? So I'm also having 2 here at the do while activity condition. I also have 2, so I can equally set this to intra Costa. Okay. All right. So I don't know. Does it look like what was sent on the Telegram page? Input number mode divided by intercoastal equals to. I think that was what he used.
Yes, sir.
Does it look like it? Huh?
That's
Okay. And I think the person also explained also. But I'm just trying to we are all in this thing and we just want to see how how this can operate, what you can do. Instead of putting to your full this and so everything we should get to the same place. So let's just save and run it. In fact, without running it, yeah, hello.
Please, I want to beg that for the fact that we have this platform there, it's not everybody that may be chance to really log in. Not necessarily myself, but I may be speaking for some other persons, maybe minority. So I suggest some of the terminology you are using, you are just giving hints. Intercoastal, this one does this in the program, that kind of thing, so that people will be carried along. If not, it will be as if you are speaking a foreign language.
Sorry, let
Thank
me
you,
get
sir.
you. Okay, before you hang up, well, if I may get Abdullah, I've seen your hands and I'm going to acknowledge you in due time. Okay, yeah, I want to get your question properly. Like the intracoastal, I was not the one that introduced intracoastal. It was one of you. What I'm trying to do is just to guide, and then I want to like alleviate or reduce some tensions in the atmosphere, or yeah, kind of like if you see that now, you may be like, what does this mean? So what I've done this evening, what I'm doing this evening, is for you to see that okay, this is how it operates. We are supposed to divide a number user inputs by 2, and if it is equal to 0, we know that's an even number. However, that 2 can be replaced by a variable. So instead of 2, you can just put Janjanti. You can put any, understand, and then you dazzle your co-developers, and then if they are not smart, it can shoot them off their feet in a way. So intracoastal, except there is something that bears intracoastal, but in what the person projected on the page, I didn't see that the user input is divided by an integer. So I suppose it's just what it's meant to do is what I've just displayed. That's what I'm trying to do. If I'm not getting your point, please clarify. I'm sorry. Lucky and Nas, I want you to clarify if in case I'm not.
You're
Okay.
right. You're right. It's understood. It's understood.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Abdullah Abubakar, I see your hands up. Okay. Then Victor. Victor.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. I was the one that actually posted the question because I was working on this exact thing.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
Okay, but I didn't get to understand what that particular. Although they just told us to input, they told me to input that at that particular place, but I didn't know the meaning. I didn't know how they
got to
there.
that
But
place.
yes,
Okay.
but inputting it actually gave me the result. But I was confused what that actually did in the process. So that's why I've had to bring it up there. But I'm really happy now that I understand everything that took place for me to get that result.
All right. Now I think that was what happened. I suppose that's what happened. And you can,
Yes, sir.
on the ground of objectivity, you can also attest to the fact that that was what must have happened.
Yes,
Because
sir.
you,
So that's what happened.
all right, okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Don't worry, we are in the game together. There are things that I will not see. There are many things I don't know. Maybe let me tell you something about myself. There are a lot of things I don't know. A lot, as in I cannot quantify it. There are a lot of things I don't know. And I have this philosophy that, or should I call it a philosophy or a viewpoint to life, that your knowledge, the knowledge you have, is the same reason for which you are ignorant in some other aspects. I will clarify. Uh, you are a software developer, for instance, and you are focused so much on software development and all of that, and now you have a that's just like, it's not even a tip of an iceberg. It's so minute. All right, it's so minute compared to what others maybe they know, or to what we call knowledge base. By the time others bring up some things, you just realize that what you know is very little. So, for instance, someone from economics, or someone from philosophy, or someone from even from language or drama, by the time they bring in some things, they just discover that your own programming is just something. It's not just even related to what they are doing. Like, so, so what am I saying? I'm saying this to simply establish the fact that we all need ourselves to build ourselves. We cannot just stand alone. So I don't know many things, sincerely speaking. I may have degree in some things, but the point is that I'm also 359 degrees away from many things. All right, so that's the way it is. Yeah, I can see we are hitching close to a particular time where we should go on break. But then, am I done with this? Let me run this 34. So I'm imputing an even number now. 34. So correct. Of course, the program ends at that point. Okay, so this is one of the things that we can look at. I know that if we want to try the other one for the sake of emphasis, if you name that one, you can name this one practice. Just call it practice. Or we call it do what practice. So, Victor, anytime you see anything that is strange, please don't hesitate to bring it to us. It will help us. You may not know the help you have offered us, to this since yesterday, or since when you posted it. So don't say that people will say that ITK, I too know, and all of
Not only
that. No,
him,
no, 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 no.
everybody, any other people can still bring it, not only him.
No, sure. When I'm talking to, yes, that's a bucket, that's a variable. You can impute anything there. Victor is a variable name now. it can actually be anybody. Yes, I see John aware and Hope. Thank you.
Sir, I was the other do while you were doing the condition. Though I would have tried it here, but my system is not up. The condition for the do while, is it compulsory? It is less than or greater than? Because me, I'm thinking it can only be greater than 0. So I'm just thinking about that. Or is it a standard way of writing it?
I can't hear anything. Hello?
Sir, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Seven,
Me
we
too.
can't
I
hear
don't
you.
understand it.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, yes, I wanted to, I wanted to just check what is going on with what Hawaii raised. That was why I imputed, okay, let's impute a negative number and see what it gives us. And what I'm seeing here is we have to talk and deliberate about it. While imputing minus 24, is still like recognizing it as an even number. Do you understand? So why is that so? Bearing in mind that the condition here is that if we divide it by 24, if we divide it by 2, what we should have should be 0. So it's still, I don't know. So that means it's recognizing minus as an integer equally. And so let me remove this and insert minus 24 and see how it works. I don't know if you are getting my argument now. Please. So this is not factoring minus into it. So let's see. Please impute an even number. So I have minus, okay, minus 24. It's still giving me correct. So what can we do here? Can you still hear me?
I guess it does not. I guess it does not matter. Though even from mathematics, modulus means that it only
Absolute.
recognizes the
Yeah.
number, not the direction. So
Okay.
the direction, whether positive or negative, is just
It's
the direction on the number line.
like
So it
an
does not recognize
absolute
that.
number. Okay. All right. So that's that. So that resolves the aspect of making it whether greater than, less than, or equal, less than or greater than
Yes,
0.
sir.
Yeah, since modulus
Yes,
is
sir.
already
It's
involved.
obvious.
All right. That's okay. Yeah. Do you have some other inputs like clarifications or verifications or questions or something? I've not heard from Matthew Ewauche. I'm not particular about the names I'm mentioning.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Who is that, please?
This is Ajawa Abidemi.
Oh, you didn't raise up your hand. Lucky also did not raise up his hands.
Sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I want to this particular condition. I want to believe is under C# or Visual Basic Language.
Okay, yes, of course, the language being recognized there, it's VB.NET, and of course, if it is also mentioned C#, it's not out of place. You know, they both dwell on the same .NET framework. So you are correct if you say it's VB.NET. Yeah.
Because the reason why I asked that is because someone was asking which language when you were using greater than, less than there. Because I wanted you to make a clarification that the language being used by the UiPath mostly is for it's a C# or VB, so we can always make our research in that direction.
That direction, yeah. It's not the heavy ones that you guys know. The language being used in UiPath, it's not those heavy languages that you people are into. So you may need to reduce your you may need to bring your what's it called now, your skills
Downgrade to Windows 7.
Maybe downgrade, okay. Downgrade too. However, I'm not in any way saying that you don't need your existing programming language in whatever language you are good at, because like I said from when we started, your expertise where you are right now, we of course sorry, where you are right now in programming, in coding, it will help in a way. It will help in a way, yeah. I want to act it. I want to confirm something. Yes, I've not forgotten that we should go on break. But this is 8:06. So I suppose by 8:20 we should come back. Yeah. Well, before then, I'm looking for something for the class. I'm looking for it. Where is it now? Yeah, there you will see the language that it is. Okay, that's not anything serious. Don't worry. It's not anything serious. So we'll talk about that later. It's not anything. I just want to show us. I can't pick it now. It's just to show us the language that's been, that is being used in this studio. Alifo Johnson. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for raising up your hand. Alifo.
I think the language is Visual Basic.net.
Yeah,
From the
yes.
expressions.
Yes, yes, you are correct. Yeah, you are correct. What I wanted to do is to show, because there's a place where you see, I can't recall that place right now. A place where you see the language being used. I just wrote it somewhere, very one small space like that. All right. So that's yes, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Yeah.
So what is the language? I think it says something like mutual basic what?
You are
The
not
language
raising.
being used.
You are violating the class rule, Badamosi. Okay, thank you. You can go ahead. Oh, that's Abdullahi. I mean, Abdullahi Abubakar. Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead, Abdullahi Abubakar. Okay. I acknowledge what you have said, Ibrahim. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Abubakar Abdullahi. You can go ahead. Abdullahi. All right. It seems he has changed his mind. Yeah, but Amasi, you wanted to say something. You can come off now.
Okay, sir. I was asking. I think someone raised the issue of like what language is it being normally used in UiPath. So I think like someone say, is it something like mutual or whatever? It kind of escaped from my mind, from my ears.
And incidentally, I've just seen it. All right. If you come to the base, to the extreme right, to where we have orchestrator not connected, then we have add to source control to the base. Have you seen this? Have you seen where my mouse is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We've seen it.
Yes.
Okay. I take it there again. All right. This project uses VB language. Gaskia. All right. So that's what I was looking for. It was just one place they wrote it. All right, so there should be another place. I will still, maybe later I'll still get it. Okay. All right, so I think it will be a good time for us to go on our short break. Of course, we don't have long break, so we should go on break now. So when we come back, we hope it will be another moment. All right. I just hope I'm not wasting your time. All right. So see you by 20 minutes past 8 West African time. All right. Bye. Enjoy your break.
Can you break? Eh? Can you break? Oh,
We on break. Oh, we're thinking that we are on the silence.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Okay.
We can hear you, sir.
All right.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, all right. So you are welcome back from break.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, Sans and Mars. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed your break. The break seems so short. All right. Can we please all mute Apata Peter? Apata Peter, please mute your mic. I've done that, but please don't put it on again. I guess you forgot to mute yourself. Yeah, I can see Babalola Olalekan, throwing his hands into the air. All right, so go ahead, Babalola Olalekan.
That was a mistake, sir. Sorry, that was a mistake, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's look at while activity and see how while activity runs. All right. What do we have in while activity? There's no point sharing my PowerPoint with you. You have your booklets with you. So let me just free me of that task for now. All right. So like we mentioned, the part of what while does to differentiate it from the do while. We did mention that while is it's like a execution condition. It operates before execution of an instruction. Okay. Why do while it's like a post execution condition. Okay, so the class activity for that, I wish we would do one of them, as in we have the class activity, we have the practice exercise, and I'm looking at which one I should start you with. I've been giving you a lot of work. Some you may not know, like the practice exercise. Those things they are meant to do them. And what I'm also expecting is that you will also add to what we have in the manual, so that it will not just be client thinker, it will not just be the way it is, but that you also would add some things, you modify even what we have there, just for us, for us to see some various possibilities. Okay, so for the do while activity, let's go for the class exercise. Okay, let's go for the practice. Okay, so definitely our faithful friend. This is the platform, the starting off point where we need to impute the number. We call this so anywhere you see a fault, call my attention into it. Prime number checker. So we call it prime number checker. All right, so we expect this to feedback. On if, and what would the if do? Yeah, in the if we have to, yeah, we've not set a variable, we can do that later, but then, okay, let's do it now. So this time around, I'm not creating variable from the designer panel, and I'm not creating from properties. From the properties panel, I'm creating it from the variables panel. Those are the three possible options, or three possible ways through which we can create variable. So here I'm going to put input number, create a variable. Input num, it's an integer. Okay, so here I can bring it in. All right. Then the condition here is I've not. Okay, let me set. I will come back to this. The condition here is the input number when it's divided by 2.
Sorry, sir, I can't see your screen.
Really, you will need to log out and come in again. Can someone help to revalidate if you can see my screen or not?
Yes,
I can see your
Yeah,
screen.
we can see your screen. We can see it.
Okay. So our friend, you need to log out and come in again. All right. So divided by 2 equals.
No, I can't see your screen now.
Okay, another person.
Me too. I can't see your screen now. I can't see your screen too.
Okay. Oh.
What is
Your screen, you are saying.
Vivian, you want to take us?
Yes.
Vivian has hijacked the screen.
Okay, Vivian has hijacked. Oh, thank God. I've been looking for an helper.
Hijackers.
No. Hey, Vivian. Don't worry. Now in the previous batch, yeah. Well, of course, there were some things we did. Of course, some of the things I did then, or let me say that I initiated, was to even use student screen to to explain some of the things we are doing, and I had my reasons for using that approach. Then I felt, okay, the way to demystify this thing is to let even people at the other hands to do it, and then they will not think that, oh, it is the instructor that is doing it. My own task is simply to provide guidance. It is not to act as a know-it-all. So what I did was, so person, share your screen with us. Please, let's mute our mic. Wisdom Stevens.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so by so doing, when you see a course student like yourself do some things, and then, of course, what I do is I provide instruction, like what I'm doing now. Another student will be presenting his or her screen, and then I will be providing instruction. So everyone can follow at that very slow snail speed pace. All right, so it doesn't look like I don't know what this person has imputed now. I don't know how they got to this point, because everything will be done from one end, instruction being passed from one hand to the other. So there is no way you will not be part of it, except if you have traveled some distance away from your screen. All right. So that's so if Vivian is still willing to, she's still willing to share screen. Why not? If not, she will just she will
I'm
only be.
willing to share screen.
You say?
I'm willing to share my screen. We can use mine for the practice.
Okay, let me get done with this, and then when we get to that point, you will do that. Don't worry, you will still do a lot of screen sharing. Don't worry, you will. When we get to that point, as I see need for it, you will do it. All right. So yeah, now this is meant to be 0. So if it divides that input and it's 0, then it means that it is an even number. So you can bring in this time around, instead of a message, just to show, because of what you want to do, you can bring an assign activity. Bring it into the den. All right, so can create a variable and call it that's what will help us count or you can leave it at let me see if you could take it as it's better it recognizes it as a variable. I'm supposed to put a variable here. Control K. Let's put it as count. Okay. I'll put it as counter. I hope I will not confuse you. Counter, and then we call this counter +1. Okay. Counter being an integer. So expecting that when we push this into an assigned activity, all right. Now we can have, of course, let me set up a variable here for this. We call it random. So, and yeah, I can increment it by 1.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask a quick question?
If yeah, hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I want to ask based on these variables section.
Okay.
In the case whereby someone wants to like to provide this variable on this assignment, for instance, this counter. What if at this variable option the counter is paused before the the input norm? Will it still work? Like if the arrangement at this variable section is interchanged, not according as you placed them on the workspace, will it still work? I don't know whether you get my.
Let me reconstruct a bit, then you put me on track. Like at the point of designing your workflow.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes, what is important now is for you to have an idea of how what you want to do should run, the sequence. You know, we are still on sequence, how it should move from what point to another point. However, in the designer panel, you can still change or you can still change the position of some activities, place them maybe over and or below. That will be informed by the way you want your program to run. Yeah, again, I'm thinking from what you said, you want to know if for instance, if this one, if assign goes up, for instance, if it's still going to recognize it, like if it is down. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that too.
No, definitely it will not. It cannot just move anyhow because it is a sequence. From one activity, the execution of the activity is from the topmost to the bottom, following an order. That's how it moves. Look at this icon. You can see that the arrows are So it follows that order until the execution, the whole program is ended. So that's how it can be. It cannot. The program has not been empowered to that extent to detect that if you put it here, then it should adjust itself and just put it where it should be or something. It will simply work by you what you are imputing. All right, and you can change this anytime. You can, if you think that this assigned activity, if you run your program, it's not giving you the result you want, like you will do in other programming language. What you do is you can bring this out. Oh, no. This ought not to be. This actually ought to to fit this one. Why I bring this one here? So you can, you can change it at will as you so desire.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, while we have this, we want so we can now put this in a while activity. Everything we have done, can now put it in a while activity. For instance, I could have started with the while activity I wanted to bring in now and start pushing everything inside it, doing everything inside it. But well, it all depends. While, so I'm bringing it to the very first place, or let me bring it. It will not be useful there. It should be useful after the person must have made inputs. Okay, I can bring it here. 50%. Okay, so it's not, it's so tiny, but it's just to highlight all that I want to do and push it in. Okay, I've pushed everything into the Y block. And what does the Y want to do? It is to check if the number is a prime number or not. So when we run this program, you tell me if anything is wrong, by the output is going to give us or not. So we can all be part of it together.
Please, kindly zoom your screen more so that, because it is too tiny, I cannot see. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And we can set the condition to run. Okay. If this right is less than the input number, as while that condition is met, then it should do this. So it does it just before. All right, don't forget it's a while activity. It does it before the execution of the instructions that follow. All right, so while this is captured, maybe we can run it and able see what it will give us before we decide to build more of this. So the inputs, the dialog, and then mainly we have this condition if that number is divided by 2 and it's equal to 0. All right, and so it's then counter should increase it by 1. It should be a counter by 1 then. Okay, and that's the random number is +1. Enter your number here. Let's say 34. Or let's say 5. Let's say 4. Right, nothing is being output because we have not we have not equipped it to print, to give us results. So then we can now say, okay, please go ahead to print these results if the counter is greater than 0. Message output. And the condition we are setting here is the counter is greater than 0. Then it should give us this message. It's not prime number. Else Control K. No, Control K. What did I do? Message? No. That's not what I want set to. Shift key. Then yeah, it is the prime number. So that will serve as our output. All right. Let's run it and see. So it's already evaluates the condition. So we push in 23 I'll be pushing 4. If anything is wrong here, let's spot it out. Enter number. It is not a prime number. Okay. I'll run the same program. The other time I pushed 4, I'll put 7. It is a prime number. All right. Is there any issue? Is there an issue with this? While imputing, having imputed 4 is telling me it's not a prime number, and now while imputing 7, as it were, it's telling me it's a prime number. What could it be? What could be going on? So this is subject to the jury of developers. Joe, Rachel, Osia, and all others. Matthew, Alice, Alifo, Johnson, Victor, Lucky, Apata, Jao, Adenka, then Paul. There is Paul Adeniji, yes. Paul Adeniji, have I heard you, speak before in this class? Paul, is there Paul Adeniji in this class? Ephraim Samuel, yes. Do we have anyone from Ghana? Is Paul Adeniji here? I think, yes, he is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not sure you have spoken before in this class. Have you?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, all right. All right, so Prince Raymond, all right, so what do you have to say to this? You had my question, you saw the steps, so I need your investigation of what has been done. John Aware, yes, Sylvester, Omotayo Kendi, Obajulua. Leonard, I'm just, I may be wrong, I'm just seeing your name for the first time. Are you just joining us? Leonard
No, sir. I've been here from the first day.
Oh, sincerely, I'm very sorry. I'm just noticing your presence. I know Kingsley has been here, and of course, Badamasi has been consistent. Herman Yahoo. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very well. That's Herman Yahoo Akogo. I'm just noticing you too. I may be wrong.
Hello, sir.
Yes, have you been joining the class?
No, it's Prince Raymond that is talking.
It's what?
It's Raymond.
Okay, it's the same. The Herman Yahoo is the same as Raymond.
Please, sir, I just want to.
Oh, I'm not getting. Oh, okay, Prince Raymond. Okay. Yeah, Prince Raymond, go ahead. I'll come back to Herman Yahoo. Prince Raymond, go ahead. You said you just want to do something.
Hello, sir.
Okay, yeah, since it's not coming up again, Joe Shubu.
Sir.
Oh, who is that? Is that Prince Raymond? Oh.
It's Joe
Hello.
Souza.
Okay, Joe, then go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to find out if the value of counter is the same as the remainder of the inputs divided by 2.
Let me go there. If the value of counter is
the same as the inputs, the remainder of the inputs divided by 2.
okay. In the first place, yeah. What do we have it? I want us to look at it together. If it's possible, have people talk about this. Let it not be from only few persons. It's a class. It's our class. All right. Who is okay? It's still Prince Raymond that is raising his hands. Joe is asking a question. Okay, yeah. I think Joe's question is if counter is the same thing as let me try. Yeah, if counter is what? If it's the same thing as
If counter is the same thing as the remainder of your inputs divided by 2.
Okay, like 0 divided. Oh, sorry. The result of the division of kind of divided by 2. So if it is 0, 0 divided by 2 will be what? Will be 0. If it is 1, 1 divided by 2 will be, that will be half. I want us to talk. Yeah, your counter that's not the direction. I use the word counter. Okay, fine. Yeah, we have this. Your input divided by 2 gives, if it gives 0, that's the condition. And we said then, let this variable be plus 1. Oh, yeah, Ephraim, yeah. Ephraim, you are giving us a bailout. Go ahead, Ephraim.
Sir.
Ephraim, yes. Is that Ephraim?
No, still Joseph.
Okay, Joseph. Okay, you want to
No, what I
it?
just want to find out is what feeds counter the values.
Okay, so I wanted to confirm, network is messing me up. I wanted to confirm if his question is result divided by 2 or remainder divided by 2. I think that's two different.
Hello, sir.
Okay, is that Sylvester? Sylvester.
Yes, sir. I think we should understand what we mean by prime number first, because prime number is any number that can be divisible by one and itself. So, and looking at what we put in the condition that inputs number as a variable mode 2 equal to 0, meaning that particular condition is there is an error in it.
Okay, there is an error in it. Okay. What do you suggest?
Well, any number that you enter, prime number is it has two conditions. It is if it is it has two values, that is one and itself. So if you divide it by one, it should be itself. If you divide it by oh no, if you it has two values, one and itself. So meaning if we are going to input any number, we should first of all test whether that particular number can be divisible by one and itself, and it is going to give us is it not one?
Yes, it should give us one.
Give us one. So that is what I believe we should test first. Then before we continue with the
But sorry, mind you, 2 is a prime number and it's divisible by itself. It's give you 1 as well.
yes, 2 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number.
2 is both a prime and even number. It's a unique number.
Module 2 equal to 0. So this is like we are doing even number.
Okay, don't forget we have a place where we put the counter to be the condition. If it's greater than 0, then it should put it at a prime number, or put it as a prime number, or not, or not as a prime number. And of what the additive that has been done is that it's adding to whichever number you impute, it adds 1 to it, and it gives you the value that it divides it by 2. So if you impute 97, it adds 1, divides it by 2, and now gives you the output that, oh, this thing is not a prime number. Like it is not reading the number you impute directly, like in other programs. It adds 1 to it. So now give it a value and divide it by 2.
Okay, thank you, sir. You've answered my question.
Okay. Yeah, Sylvester, I don't know if you are trying to get.
Yes, but in the counter, I think you said counter equal to counter plus 1, meaning the value of counter is initially 0. Abi, I'm talking about the counter. The value of counter is initially 0. So we are saying 0 counter, which is variable name, equal to 0 plus 1. Because I think it should be the input number plus 1 if you are adding, because I didn't get that part.
The input number is the counter. So what is saying here now, I said the input number originally is the counter, but since he assigned counter equals to counter plus 1, and the new counter will be that's your input number plus 1.
There is
Then
nothing that's assigned counter to input number.
is there? I think basically that
You just say in
in the
assign
mod.
in assign. You said?
Just imagine that there's this imaginary bracket around the input number now. We will first deal with whatever is in that bracket, like under condition. So let's deal with what is in the bracket first. There's an imaginary bracket around input number now. So if we say counter equals to counter, then your counter is the value that you impute plus 1. Then after you've done that, the mod 2 basically is just saying that number, which is counter plus 1, divided by 2. The remainder should be 0. Are you following?
Well, I'm trying to get what you are saying.
Okay, I think let's look at it this way. Now, looking at the
I was waiting for my answer.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Do we have someone else? Sorry, I'm sorry for.
I'm waiting up my answer.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Babalola. Babalola, can you please come up? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yes. I think that we should leave, because what I noticed that you use in the if condition down here, you use the if counter. I think if we use if input number is equal to 0, we will give you to give us the right answer. To give us the direct answer. Let's try it and you see what I'm talking about, sir. Because
no problem.
Input number module 2 is equal to 0. No, not here. If that part. Yes, that counter. Yes, the counter.
The counter here. Okay, this one.
Yes, instead of the counter, change it to input number. Let it be input number. Let it turn to input number. Both of them are highest. Plus 1, okay. Then if you come down to the down if also, okay. If you come down to this if condition, this counter should be if input number is greater than 0, not counter again.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, let's try it now, sir.
Okay. Here we go. Run. So give me a number.
21.
2. 1. It is not a prime number.
Yes, it's not a prime number. Okay. Is it correct, sir?
Of course, 21 is not a prime number.
21 is not a prime number.
Sorry, 21 is a prime number. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's a prime number, yeah. There's a problem somewhere.
It's not a prime number. It's not a 21 is not a prime number.
21 is 3 and sorry, 21 is a prime number now. Yes.
No, it's not.
3 can be 21.
No, sir, it's not. It can be divided by 3 and 7. It's not.
Am I getting? It's not. Okay.
It's not a.
If you divide it by 2, if you divide it by 2.
No. 2.
No, 2 is
It
not
is
the
numbers
yeah.
that cannot
By
be
something that
can only be divided by
by
itself
one
and
and
one.
itself. One and itself. That is prime number.
That's prime number.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
it's not okay. It's not when you divide it by 2 and then you have a remnant.
No, sir.
Okay. So and this 21 and 1, they are prime factors for okay. So are we saying
It's
we are
correct.
point now?
Let's use 5.
5. Is there any problem?
Sir,
It
there is
didn't
an
work. 5 is a prime number.
It did not work.
This didn't work. Sir, where we got it from, where we put the last the condition input number greater than 0. That is what is
That's the
not
problem.
there. Yes, because what we are saying is that whatever we input, if it is greater than 0, you say it's not a prime number.
So it's supposed to be equal to then. It's supposed to be equal to 0.
We can't put numbers, sir. I don't
Is
think
it?
because input is is a variable we are collecting, we are inputting.
Okay.
So if the variable we are inputting equal to 0, so meaning it is just testing the variable we are inputting, not following the condition.
Okay, so it will not be right for us to put input equals 0.
Yes, sir.
So how do we come out of this? You can go over it again from the feed, and we get to the y. The y check if it's a prime number. That's the purpose of the activity.
So is it by force we must use y?
The plus 1.
Yes. Is it
So
compulsory?
No. Well, for the purpose of what we want
yes,
to
for now it's compulsory to use y because we want to learn about it.
Yeah, for the purpose of what we want to achieve.
Okay. What I wanted to say is that this counter and counter plus 1 we put for what's the work, sir? What's the main purpose? But
Okay.
I don't see a need. I don't see a need. But I want to know what the purpose is, sir.
Yeah, what this is meant to help us achieve is that once it does the division here, yeah, if you look at no, once this, remember this one was what do we have here before we changed it? Can you still recall? Was the input number we have there?
It was the counter we changed, sir. Counter plus 1 we changed. It was the counter plus 1 we changed.
Okay, it was here.
Yes, and the if down.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what this is meant to help us to check is if it is found that not just the input now, if it is found out that this is a prime number, I take it again from the input. We have a condition here, random number. Can check it out here. All right. if it is less than the input, don't forget all this condition too. If it is less than the input number, so let's assume that our input number is 5, like it was 5. Okay. If 2 is less than this, that's the condition. Sorry. And then we have it that this, when divided by 2, is equal to 0. Now, then it should add 1 to it. You should add 1. You should increase it by 1. That's the entire value. You should increase it by 1. So the value of the counter is that when that number is found to be a prime number, then increase it by 1. That's why to every prime number we indeed supplied, it adds 1 to it. It takes it as though it is not a prime number. That's what this that one does in the whole equation.
It will not work that way, sir. Hello, sir. It will not work that way, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Because is this right now the value of this counter is still 0. Even though you said the input module 2 is equal to 0. So if it is equal to 0, you are not saying they should add 1 number to the input number. You are saying you should add it to the number that it gets. Hello, sir. Are you getting what I'm saying?
I'm with you, and I hope everyone is also with you. We are all with you.
Okay, this counter number, the value of the counter right now is 0. So if he adds +1 to it, it's equal to 1. So, and we now came down and he said while random number is equal to random plus 1. So it comes down and still asks for counter. Before it was counter if counter is greater than 0, not if counter is equal to 0 or if counter is equal to 1 is greater. You are looking at the greatness. You are just doing a comparison. Hello, sir. Counter. So it's not. I think the condition in this if statement down here, this output statement, this message output is wrong.
It should be the other way around.
Yeah, I'm thinking instead of equal to, if it's equal to 1, it should not be greater. It's not greater than we're supposed to use. It should be equal to, the counter should be equal to, not greater than. Hello, sir. Are you getting what I'm saying, sir?
I'm following you.
So if the
Hello, sir.
if
Please, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, who was the person talking before this?
Victor.
Babalola, sir.
Okay, Babalola. Yeah. Okay, Victor is now taking to. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Victor.
Okay, sir. So I did something similar to this, but what I actually observed, the only difference is that, sir, this is your mode. This is your mode. You already changed the default in the variable to 2. So I think you should just call in the mode here rather than putting 2. Like, sir, in the variable, you have already changed the default to 2. Yeah. So instead, you can just call random number here.
And it recognizes the default value.
Yes, and you went and put 2 here. So I don't know. Now you can just change that to.
I should change which one?
The 2 to the number to the variable that has its
to a variable.
To the variable that has 2 as its default number. I think that was what made me to bring up that.
Sorry, I'm not getting it. I should change this
2 to the variable that has its default as 2. So please let me see the variable panel again. Yeah, this random number, just change the 2 here to input number mode random number. Yeah.
No, that's not it. If you push it away.
No, I'm not saying you should remove the 2.
Okay.
Okay. You can push it away. Let's just see. Yeah.
It will. Yeah. So this is that there is no place to enter a value for a random number. Okay. Don't worry. Yes, it is. It's a brain work. But look at it again by what you have said. See if there is anything to do. So we have the condition for this is that the value we have not set on random number should be it's less than the input. If it's less than input number, okay, and the input number itself, when divided by 2, it's equal to 0. So can you suggest a number for me?
So let's try 5. Okay.
7. It is a prime number.
Let's use 10.
10.
Let's try 10.
1, 0, 10. It is not a prime number. So what has changed?
It is right.
It's correct. It's right.
Okay, it's correct
It's
now.
right.
So what has changed in the whole game, in the whole equation? The random number is the one causing problem.
Yes, the random number is the one causing problem. It's no longer, it doesn't have any value anymore.
Okay, so we take it from here. We have the random. Okay, it's not taking any value. And so what's that condition doing there in the first place? At the end of the day, we will reduce the entire project. We'll reduce it to something we have done before. Okay, so that means that we should remove since the random number is not doing anything again, it's not as if you have a feed to impute a value for it.
So unless if you impute the 2 here, that means you need to call the random number in place of these 2 up here. Instead, to be input number mode random number. That is, if you should input the 2 here again, that is under the default.
So I should do what now?
So if you should input the 2 here, then you need to take away this 2 in the if function and input the random number.
Yes.
Okay, because this is the condition, this is a while, is a major thing. So we cannot boycott this condition.
So you need to come to this 2 and take away the 2 and call the random number variable at once.
All right, so then take the if away.
No, it's not taking away the if, just this mode. Instead of putting 2, you call the random number variable at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, input mode, then you call this variable that has its default as 2, so that it will be
Sorry,
the variable that will not divide.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I'm getting that. Okay, the input variable. Okay. Mode.
Then you take away the 2.
Just like we did the other time.
Yeah, that's what made me to bring up that particular this in the Telegram group after I imputed it. I didn't understand. Yes, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. we'll get the same result like we did now. So 7 as usual. It is a prime number. It is not a prime number.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yeah, wisdom.
No, Raymond.
Okay, Prince. Okay, Raymond.
I don't know if you notice the while loop is not actually working.
Okay, because it's like we are saying that random number which has been affixed to 2 is less than input number. As long as it is less than, while it is less than the input number, sorry, y2 is less than the input number, then all this should run. Go ahead, PO. I've seen Omotayo and Kendi. I will acknowledge you in due time. And Joe, too. Okay, go ahead, Prince Raymond.
I'm not raising up my hand. I said the while loop is not actually working whenever you run the file.
Okay. All right.
You know, we are supposed to have the request of imputing our number to make sure we get a prime number. In case we don't, then when we get the prime number, it's supposed to just then it will go off. But whenever you run, even when you put the prime number and when you don't put the prime number, it just go off like that. The while loop is not working.
Oh, okay, that is not looping.
Yes, exactly. It's not looping.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, Omotayo, let me acknowledge Omotayo Kende before Joe will speak.
All right. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you can hear me.
Very well. I'm very clear.
Okay, sir. Mine is all these examples we have been using all these numbers, looking for prime numbers, even numbers, and the rest. I don't know, but someone like me, I don't really enjoy working with all these numbers of it. I'm like,
okay,
can't you use real life problems, like problems peculiar to business? Since UiPath is mainly to solve business related problems in office and some other, can't you be using something like if so invoice is like this, or I don't know. Are we going to be dealing with prime numbers and some other things while using UiPath to work? So
okay.
I don't know if we can just go straight to using real life problems, like all these do, why, if, and so on. Can't we bring in real life problems and apply all these UiPath whatever to it? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Good question. Thank you. Yeah, should I acknowledge? Okay, I hope I'll be able to capture this and then respond to them in due time. Babalola Kende, Babalola Olalekan. Joe, I'm coming to you, please.
Hello, sir. I'm still in this while loop condition. I think our condition is wrong, sir. I think I don't know how you want to use the while loop, but I think our main condition for this program should start with the module. If our condition is still equal to 0, that is, if our number, while our number input number module 2 is equal to 0, that should be our condition for the while loop. Then we can now do the iteration. That's the what's the name? The +1. Then if now the +1 is now divisible by the input number, then our number is a prime number. But if it's not this, if it's not divisible, that means it's not a prime number. But if it's not divisible, if it's still equal to 0, that means a prime number. I think that's the I think we need to structure our program again. That's my own input, sir.
Okay, thank you, Lalekon. Joe, finally, as in eventually, I'm bringing you up.
I believe the problem we are having right now is that generally, the issue is we don't really understand the arithmetic implication of all these conditions. Basically,
Sorry, you need to.
If you,
sorry, your audio is breaking.
Okay, sorry, sir.
So some things are. Listen, yeah, all right.
Am I clear now?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, so basically, a prime number, if you add 1 to any prime number, let's say 7, 9, 11, and divide it by 2, the remainder is always 0. So we already know that because of this, that number, that's what I know is meant to help the whole while activity, but I just don't see the importance yet, or what fits the value for a random number. Or is it just 2?
Okay.
Can you? Yes.
Okay. Then who else is there? Okay, Joe. Okay, Joe is the all right. Yeah, we are dealing with prime numbers. Yeah, okay, maybe I should first go through this route. The route, the last second to the last speaker also raised that can't we use what really operates outside there? And of course, when we do activities like this, I always try to put it in a context of what operates. Now, but again, it is very, very important that whatever we are doing, we relate it with what is known already. If we have a full grasp of what is known, then we can scale it up to what is not known or what is unknown. We move from known to unknown. This is something we can relate with, and everyone can relate with. It's in the learning framework of UiPath, RPA thing. It is expected that anyone should be able to participate in it, and that you not having the knowledge of RPA should not be an hindrance. So anyone should be able to fit in a way. So and that's the reason why some of those examples are being used, or they seem okay, so low to our levels. But if we think about this, I must have done that with this class too. Of course, I do that a lot with the other batch, and when we have done something like this, so I ask them questions on they putting it in context, so they begin to suggest what they can do, is possible with this, and okay. So, but getting how an activity works is actually the main thing. Some examples there are things that you can quickly relate with. Why some maybe that looks like this looks like this is just mathematics. Or let me say that we have cases in which what you want to do it relates to you using numbers, having taken consideration of numbers, like you said, invoice numbers, all of that. Depending on your depth, you get to a point where that's been doing orientation, where you have to be looking for invoice number that takes a particular pattern, that has a particular pattern. Does the number have an A? Does it have an alphabet in its composition, in its value? If it doesn't, then we cannot take that as invoice number. All those. But just imagine we are running on that, then everything becomes so very, very difficult to relate with. But all that, this thing you are doing, they have their relevance in the real world, real life setting. All right. Now, yes, about this program that seems not so direct. One thing I have to call our attention to is that this while condition, we cannot boycott it. Cannot boycott it. Yes, we have to look for ways by which this condition must operate and drive what we are doing here. Okay. And that's why, as I was writing, I was saying that let's look at it, and so of course, various suggestions have been coming. What is the while type of loop? What is this supposed to undo? What is it about? From the manual in your hands, it reads that it should execute a specific sequence while a condition is met. I wish we can think about that again and talk about it. It executes a specific sequence while a condition is met. The condition must be met, and then before it goes into executing an instruction or executing a sequence. So can we identify, we know the condition now, so can we identify the sequence in this place? What's the sequence here? Let me reduce. What's the sequence? Let me see if hands are up. Okay, what's the sequence here? Can anyone spot out the sequence here? No, I'm not setting trap for you, please. It's just needful for us to come to abattoir sometimes to see the way meats are being, how they are being mutilated, dissected, and cut into pieces. All right, so what was the sequence here? Okay, Wisdom Stevens.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so the sequence is everything within the body. So from the if activity down to the assign. That's
Okay.
the sequence that we execute.
That's the sequence. Okay. All right, Joe, you want to say something? I saw your hands briefly, or Wisdom has handled it. Okay. Okay, so now if you can go, I wish you have your materials with you, your PDF with you, and just look at what is being said about while activity, that it executes a specific sequence while a condition is met. And Wisdom has been able to help us to see that
the sequence is everything we have in this body. Meanwhile, in this body, the first thing we have in the body itself is that if, as we are stating a condition, if this operates, if it holds, then let us assign this one, if it operates. Okay, so then let it be this, and let's assign this number. We have changed a lot of things. Let's assign it to this, and then add 1 to it, and then we can now print the message and say, okay, it is a prime number or something, or not. Okay, I just want us to look at it again and again. It's very important we look at we see it from that perspective. So this one, the way it's working is it's putting a condition first, and then it's based on that condition, it's determining if that sequence should be run and how it should go. And then the condition is evaluated. Of course, I said that before each execution of the sequence. I don't know if that could help us to restructure what we are doing now.
Sir.
Yeah.
It's wisdom.
It's wisdom. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I've been thinking about it there, and the way we check for prime numbers, like if you ask me now, how will I know if a particular number is a prime number? I'll start looking for numbers that can divide that particular number, and if I find anyone, then I'll say it's not a prime number. Okay, let me take 7 for example now. If I go from 1 to 7, there's no number that can divide 7 without a remainder, aside from 7 and 1.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If
All
you
right.
say 10, I'll have to go from 1 to 10 and check. I'll see 2 and I'll see 5. Yes, so I think what we should do is any number the user inputs, we take the range from 1 to that number, and then we divide that number by everything.
Okay, we divide that number by everything.
Every single number from 1 to that number. So if we can't find anyone that divides it without a remainder, then we'll know it's a prime number.
Okay,
I was actually developing the sequence by myself, but I couldn't get it to print it out. But what I actually did was I used the enumerable.range method.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, you will. Yeah. I know you are still going. You are still developing that. I'm sure you have not yet got to the end.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that we don't put too many things together. What will happen is, when we have seen this and we have taken this as a problem, we are saying that there's a problem, or let me be polite with it, there seems to be a problem. So as we think over it, so wisdom.
Yes, sir.
What you are cooking, you will bring it to class and we will look at it. Now, because I am priming our hearts so that, wisdom will be coming with something like, he has mentioned something like we have to go through a range, and then so that when wisdom will be coming and what we'll be presenting will be different from what we have done in class, will not be thrown out, kind of. No, don't be. So wisdom, you also must be ready to explain everything, all the functions, and all the declarations and everything that you'll be using to us, and why it is like that.
Okay.
Okay, is that a promise?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. I'm not in a hurry to have you present it now. No, tomorrow you will have it presented. Okay, so but just note the way while activity works. You are used to, I know we are used to a flow in which you execute something and then you check it against the condition before you determine how or what should happen next. While is different in the sense that, yeah, you remember we have what we are having here. That's at the while. Yeah, at the while activity here. You're having a random, what we call random number, which is 2, and which was 2 before we changed it. And that 2, we said it's less than, if it's less than input number, okay, then it should come to the body. So if 2 is less than, let me just hypothesize now, like hello.
I can hear you, sir.
Hello, I can't hear you, sir. Hello, I can't hear you. Yes, I can't hear you. Your audio it's very dim. The volume is dim.
Now?
No, it's still dim. It's not yet audible.
Has changed, right? It took time. Infrastructure.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Your volume is dim.
Yes, I'm saying that nothing has changed from my side.
Okay, it's back now.
It's back. Okay, it should be internet bandwidth or something. Anyway, this is the era of internet, and anything that happens now, we have to push it on internet. Yeah, I don't know, but actually, nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. I did not change anything. I did not alter anything, so it should be internet then. Okay, yeah, I was just looking at this and looking at it just like any of you are looking at it. Okay, the condition is that the random number, which we set its default value at 2, is less than input. When it is less than the input number. So if the imputed number is let's say 5, and so we are saying that 2 is less than 5, which is true. Okay, so what if what we have imputed is 2? Once 2 is less than 2, so what happens? Is it going to execute? Now, if the imputed number is 1, so random number, that is 2 less than 1, So how will it run? Okay, so those are questions awaiting answers. Okay, so that condition is, we need to understand it. That, okay, we are looking at so numbers from so number upwards, also from so number downwards. All right, but this one looks like we are looking at from some numbers upward, random number less than input number. Okay, and we have it that the imputed number by the user okay, input number mode random number equals to, okay, and the counter. So I'm going to run this against those things I raised now. I'm imputing 2. I want to see what will even happen with 2. It is a prime number. Oh, we have changed some things here. Though I cannot remember what we changed. Okay. Let me check variables. All right. Still have it this way. We have the input number mode equals 0. And then we have counter. Okay. All right, so I think everything is okay. All right, so don't worry, we'll look at it tomorrow, bearing in mind that there is a condition that needs to be met at the while condition. Okay, so what it's meant to achieve, what we are meant to achieve is that if the number supplied, if it is, and it is divided, is divided by the random, so to speak, which we have assigned it to 2 until that number is equal to the what we are imputing, then it should not fly. We'll look at it better tomorrow, combining this with what wisdom will bring across our ways. And if there are things you also want to try on your own, I suggest you do it to see the way while activities, how it works. Okay, which is actually different from the way do while activity works. And that also explains why it is not, maybe it was Prince Raymond that mentioned that why it was not, it did not keep executing like you expect it to execute as we have it in do while. All right, those are the things, and that's the reason why this has been brought to a notice, to see that it doesn't work like the do while activity. Wisdom, you have your mic on and it's getting, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think on this note, I would like us to call it a day, except if there is any, if somebody wants to say something, you're expecting something from Wisdom against tomorrow. All right, so I don't know if there is any other thing that you want to say. Abdullahi Abubakar.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
All right. So, sorry, even before we went for the break, I been raising my hands, and sorry, I had issue with my mic, so I just got it fixed.
Okay, sorry
All
about
right. I will try something different. Maybe I will present it tomorrow.
It's okay. So we have two. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So just majorly let it be on while activity.
All right, sir.
That's
All right, sir.
hey, yeah, and don't take it to a very serious extent. Something we can digest and relate with. Do you get? I'm just giving
All
you a
right.
scope.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you at everyone. Matthew Welch is not here. But I've seen others. I can see so many persons that yeah, some names that I may not be able to call now. Rachel Buki, yeah, yeah. I'm just noticing your name too, your presence. All right, Shehu Ojo Komolafe. Oh, okay, Shehu Ojo Komolafe. Is it the same Rachel Akinola?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's the same. You just added Buki to it. I used to know the Rachel, two Rachel Osia and Rachel Akinola. Okay, it's the Buki that is deflecting things now. Okay, so Shehu Ojo Komolafe is a man, is a family man, so I know yeah, and I won't make the mistake of thinking that he is a she. I know that he is a he now. All right, Gochuku, Kingsley, Jonah Ware, Ibrahim Badamasi, Francis. Yeah, Francis. Yes, you have been quiet these days. You have been quiet all along. I know you once in a while you come in. You are just looking at your voice. Okay, Francis Zion. Zion, yeah. Okay, are you still with us? I want to hear your voice. Okay. Suppose it's not Ademola Lawa. Are you there? Ademola Lawa. Ademola Lawa. Okay. I'm not sure you have commented before. Have you? Just correct me. I stand to be corrected. You can correct me. I have not.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm with you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
I'm very much with you.
Hope you are getting along.
Yes.
All right. Saubum Theophilus Ebenezer Fiayin. All right. So let me say good night at this point, and I wish you the very best. To even as today is engine to close, to open up into tomorrow. All right. So thank you at everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
All right. Good night. Good
Thank you,
night.
sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. Yeah.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you
All right.
very much.
Thank you too.